So hello, and welcome back to part 2 of how you can deal with AI, especially as an artist, creator, or as a developer. So to keep things into context, if you're new here, yesterday on the in the last part we talked about how really these fields come together and how AI is basically trying to play its part and the kind of mentality we have to go with when you're going through AI. And to summarize, it's basically making the art about the art, making the art itself, not about the art. But for developing, we ended up talking about the building and the building of systems and applications. So today, I'm really going to go heavy on all of these three aspects: creating, developing, and because artists are also in creating, but there's a slight difference. I'm going to talk about them heavily, starting with creating. As creators, the main thing we do, I'm talking about, by the way, social media creators and anyone who creates something original. And developing is not creating, mind you. Developing is just, as it is, developing systems from existing, well, systems and frameworks that already are there. So creating, or some people like calling it artists, but I don't like calling it that way, because creating generally means you're making something that has your perspective, that has your side of view, that you're taking something that already exists and then you're creating it in your eyes, in your perspective. That's what I think creating is taking something that already exists and making it in your perspective, thus becoming something new that you can view. Now, when an AI model or an LLM generates a piece of music, who does that music belong to? Like, who owns that song that has been generated? Who owns that image that has been generated by let's say Nano Banana or any kind of image generation model? Who owns those things? In my perspective, or in my opinion, I genuinely think that the owner of the image or the generated art or generated creation should neither be the one who prompted nor the company that made it. It should be the LLM itself. I think if you watched my last short form video, I talked about just we have productized everything nowadays, meaning that everything, including art and creations, has now become products. That's why even this kind of arguments for who owns what and what kind of art should actually be owned are coming up in the first place. And I don't think they should ever. We shouldn't be arguing whose art is for who. If, let's say, Tom Odell or Adele made a very nice song I like, I am free, basically, in today's law, to replay the song to myself in my own performance and label it as a cover. And I think that's what music should be as a whole. Meaning that even if I named it as a cover, yes, Adele made the song, but then the point of art should be making and performing the art, not generally gaining the song and the rights to the song and all these kind of things. But then, as I spoke of it last time, we all made this system and agreed to productize art so that artists could get something to live off, because some artists are doing these things full time and they need something to, well, eat. So yeah, that's basically what I think in the side of perspective of artists. And I think how we should implement this kind of solution is mainly through pushing it so hard as individuals, or I don't know, if it happens, an organization that comes and proposes this and implements this and makes AI models that actually go or resonate with this, I am seeing much more enlightening future. Meaning that it's fine that AI will come and take the jobs and creating images and everything, but then that will give me as an artist or as a creator the freedom to create, not to get a product, no, the freedom to actually play music and enjoy it. Doesn't matter AI made it or anything else, as long as I feel satisfied, I feel fulfilled by the playing and the melody and the thing itself, I know I'm leaning mostly into music because I also like making music, but then as long as that is satisfied, I don't think there's anything else. So for developers, so that is done for, okay, so that is done for creators, and I touched a bit on artists, but then now let me just go directly to developers. If you're a creator, just go to the last bit where I talk about artists and finalize the part 2, because this is a 5-part series, by the way. Part 1, introduction; part 2, the mindset that we should adapt; part 3, what's going on and what's really practical; number 4, what should you do; and number 5, the future itself. And I'm thinking of making this as beneficial as possible to the mass and to everyone else, because I myself use AI in my benefit, and it really helps. Really helps. Now let's talk about developers, because this is a very interesting part, because I myself, I am one developer, and AI was scary at first, but now I know how to use it in the best of my benefits. Build. One word: build. Build is like the reason why most of us came to develop apps. The reason why I came to develop apps in the first place is because I liked building. If you're developing either programming languages or anything else that really AI has impacted, build a lot, my dear friend. Build as much as you can, because this is the golden era where you should spark inside within you that young developer, or that young you who first saw a computer and saw shit actually working for the first time ever. I don't know if there's anyone who was born and liked writing millions of lines of code and generally loving that. Like, I know you should take care of your code, I know it's important, but then just imagine making something, just speaking up something, and then it works. And I know I can hear all of you who are saying that AI is bad, produces bad code, it's all about slop, but then your problem is that you just send in one prompt, one request to the AI model to bring you back something good just from one request, just to one shot it. And as you know, this technology is really that early, and the hype, I do agree with you, the hype is kind of a bit too much, but then it's never been easier. This is the easiest it can ever get. And the AI model I recommend, I really am not an Opus Cloud person. I really love the way Codex works. Codex is actually running right now, and Codex is really just works. It just works. That's why I like Codex, and that's why I like developing in the first place. I don't want easy language, and like, it's good. It's good for my UX. It's good for, like, if I were a normal user, but I'm a developer. I came here to build, not to chat with the AI model, as novel as it might sound. But then, yeah, build. Remind yourself why you came to develop in the first place. Like, try this. Just go to an AI model, then tell it to spit out a very useful, dead simple, overlooked useful tool, and like chat with it, and what are you gonna make, and tell it like this and that and this. You'll be surprised by the thing you make just within 10 minutes. And really, at first, I made my first file organizer app and my shop data tracking app in the way like I wanted, but then when I went to tell the AI to make the same app without telling it any kind of code I wrote, I was left in awe. Like, it can do this, and that was last year. Let me remind you, that was June last year, and now this year things are like, that's basically nothing to AI. It can do better than that 100x than it can today. So build, because this is why we came here in the first place. We came to build. We enjoy building. If you came for the money, fine, take care of the code. Nobody cares about some bunch of bytes and lines. digital space, but then I know I came here to build things, and that's what I enjoy, making something, then it works, feeling as if I own something that, yeah, I made that system. And secondly, apart from building, you should also engineer. Like where we're going, it will turn from being a junior developer to a junior engineer, junior software engineer. Since now these agents can basically write any type of code you want, and to their best of ability, what you should do now is to just have the right questions, have the right systems, have the right implications for what you're going to do, have the right implementations, have the right things, just the thoughts, have the right idea of what you want to build. And really, when you have that, you can see, like, if I had a team of agents, I had a team of, let's say, software engineers, not developed, just software engineers, what could I tell each one to do so that I could achieve the goal of building this XYZ tool? That's what you're supposed to do. That's how I make all my things nowadays. Like, I start first with a rough idea, have the idea, and then start branching out from there. Then if you can't think on your own, outsource your thinking. I really don't care, but then I really recommend you think on your own, of which just start saying, okay, this is an app, let's say a chat app. I'm going to make the security auth, chat interface, read replies, and I'm speaking like this because I have been building a chat app project for quite some time now, and I really like, it's not like something I'm planning to release anytime soon, but then it's really fun making a chat app, and I'm using it to like test every model as it comes. If a new model comes, I give it a problem in my chat app code base. If it succeeds, then good, it advances, and then if it fails, I just wait for the next model to come to test the ability. Then one day, maybe this code alternative. Okay, so apart from that, now let's finish out with artists. Artists are basically people who have their own kind of thing going on. They don't create from others. Their main value is in the making itself. Like, it's the same for creators. Artists, music. I play music because I love it. I don't play music for someone else to come and view it. Nah, that's not my thing. I play music because I love it. Okay? And if I could make music, I would, but then I don't care. I don't care if someone knows it or not. But then, just knowing that nowadays, having the song idea in my mind and just sing it into Suno and produce back a good variation of what I wanted, it's kind of shocking. Yes, I know. But then, see, I had a song idea, I had a melody idea in my mind recently. Then I went to Suno so that I could like get the actual production made song. But then I wasn't satisfied. Not because the song was bad. It was amazing. I loved it. But then what I hated is that I couldn't play that song. Like, I can't play the song. That's my pain point. I want to play the song. Play the song. See, draw the picture. Write the book. Don't wait for the, because if you start drawing a picture for the aim of a nice picture, you make yourself concentrating more on the outcome rather than concentrating on what you're doing right now. This is the same to any other field in life, and it repeats itself over and over again. This is why we should all change. We should all change for the better and actually start doing things because of the things themselves. I'm going to dive deeply into the next episode, in the next part, about how to practically integrate this in your life as you really take this in, and you should make it your own. But then that's it for part 2 of how builders or developers, creators, and artists can deal with AI in the modern era. So thanks for watching. Part 2, part 3 coming out soon. Catch you up in the next one. Cheers, take care.